So now we have a gauge on there, we have the hose on there, and we're now ready to add in the actuation device. First actuation device I'm going to show you is a cylinder actuator. The next one I'll show you is the universal valve operator. Those are the two most typical actuation devices which will attach to a valve. And the first part to installing those is we have to remove this U-pin, and then we need to remove this actuation port plug. So you can either use the gauge spanner or you can use the plier type reset tool to push that out. You can do the remainder normally by hand. If you can't do it by hand, if it's a particularly tight pin, you can use a screwdriver. Just be careful you don't damage the gauge. Having removed that pin and putting it in a safe place, because you're going to need that in a moment, you can remove the port plug. If you have the plier type reset tool, which is a great tool, remove this part from the plier type reset tool. Keep the two arms together with your hand and you can screw that into here. Hopefully you can see that. That screws in like this, and this will then allow you to remove the port plug. Remove the port plug from the adapter, put that somewhere safe. Again, don't lose it, you're going to need that in the future. Reinsert the pivot onto your plier type reset tool, and you are now ready to insert your actuator device onto there. Whilst this is open, do not put anything inside the actuator port. There is a Schrader core inside there which, if depressed, will fire the cylinder, so you must not put anything into there with a pin that is protruding that could push in the Schrader core. So having removed the actuator port plug, remembering never to put anything inside there apart from a UVO or an actuator with the pin reset, first of all, I'm going to show you how to add a cylinder actuator to this. First thing we must check is that this pin is retracted. So when we look at the top of here, hopefully you'll be able to see that there is no pin protruding. If there is, then we must take the plier type reset tool, and in the fork leg there is an adapter which looks like this, which has a large opening. The other one is a smaller opening, and that won't fit. But once we have that, we can take this, if we need to, if this pin was extended, and we would put it over the top and we would push it firmly, and we should hear a click, and then that pin will drop back in. If it doesn't click straight away, put the adapter on there, push it down and turn it, and that will rotate the ball, which is a locking device inside, which will allow the pin to reset. If it won't reset, do not fit it, call us, find another actuator, fit that one instead, and we'll look into why that's not working. This one is retracted, so we're now ready to go. So we take the cylinder actuator. In a typical scenario, this will have other hoses coming to it from other cylinders. We insert it onto the cylinder and we push it firmly home, and then we take the U-pin. You'll have to excuse me because I'm doing this from the side. That then pushes through here, and this is now secure. So even though this can rotate, this can't fall out, this will do its job. So that's how you connect it with a cylinder actuator.